So what was the first thing you did after you got off to Hawaii? Since me and Joey just went off and rested. And what did you do, Connor?
What did I do?
You went to go see a certain movie, I believe.
Oh, you went in Hawaii. Yeah. So John Wick 4 doesn't release in Japan until September, which is like, what the fuck? Why is it just, how long does it take to make subtitles?
Yeah.
Like that's like 6 months.
Translators are crying right
Yeah.
Some of the scenes are in Japanese. Like what I don't understand why it's taking so long to get John Wick 4 out. And so like I'm a massive fan of the John Wick series. I've watched like every single one in the cinema when it came out. I fucking loved it. They're great. I think they're like the best action, I guess, what would it be called? It's not a sequel or trilogy. It's a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
It's like the series. It's the best action movie series I think we've had in like, for such a long time. Like, and even some of the greats of action movies, like I think this holds up, if not is better than a lot of my favorite action movies.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so I was, and John Wick 4 looked insane. They had such an insane cast of just goats. And so I was super pumped for it. And I realized, okay, well, it's the week after John Wick comes out in America. We're in Hawaii, and there's got to be a theater in Hawaii. Sure enough, there was one right next to the hotel. So the moment I found out that we were, like the time we were arriving at like 12, I booked the cinema for 2 p.m. I was like, I'm going straight to John Wick the moment I land. So we got in. So I booked 3 seats to John Wick. Right?
You booked 3 seats.
I booked 3 seats because I was like, if somebody last minute wants to join, they can join. If not, I get the extra 2 next to me because it was like packed.
Yeah.
Of course, because everyone wants to watch John Wick because it's John fucking Wick. You want to watch it. So I had like, they were like recliner chairs too. Dude, theaters in America are so fucking good.
They are.
The food is insane at this theater. I got a chili dog and I was fearing for the worst, that it was going to be like the spray chili. It was like actual cheese and
nice.
chili and a great hot dog. And the popcorn was great. It was massive. I was so happy. And so
All your favorite things.
Nobody came with me. No one wanted to watch John Wick 4. Can you believe that?
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen a single John Wick film.
That's
so
fine.
Yeah, I haven't seen the third
I will
one
though.
yet.
I will.
Come on.
I will.
Yeah.
And so I just immediately went there and I was so happy, and it was rammed. So I was kind of happy to have the 2 seats next to me be free. And then one guy tried to sit next to it. He's like, oh, is this my seat? I was like, it's certainly not your seat. I'm like, boom. It's my seat, buddy.
The €80 tickets.
I was saying like you couldn't sit next to me. I was just saying like no. It's actually not your seat.
Actually, I booked all these seats for myself.
Which was great because I felt like shit, and also I'd ordered way too much food.
Yeah.
So I had to I was like putting my shit on the other places, and like because they gave me this giant ass tray for all this food, and I don't know how I would have managed to eat anything if I had just my lap, because I would have been like, so I just put things away, and it was great. I loved it.
I guarantee everyone else in that cinema was like, look at this fat fuck.
Yeah, man. I do, because we hadn't eaten, so I went to town. Like this was like our lunch, breakfast. I was living my best life. It was 3 hours long too. Holy
Fucking
shit,
hell.
it was so good. It was so good. And like,
so was it the same length as Avatar?
Yeah, no, Avatar was a little longer, I think, actually.
Okay.
3.5 hours, right?
It was 3 something. Either way, John Wick was like, normally when you come off a plane, you might be a little sleepy, but I was no sleep at all. This movie was so fucking good. This is insane. It was such a good film.
Would
You guys got to
the
watch
best one out of the 4?
What's your favorite one?
Yeah, what's your John Wick
I
tier
think
list?
John Wick 4 might be my favorite one.
I mean, it's got Donnie Yen. As soon as I saw Donnie Yen,
is so fucking good in it.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, we've talked about how much we like martial arts films.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen
Yeah.
is the GOAT. I never realized, because I don't think I'd ever watched a Donnie Yen film where he speaks a ton of English. His English is cracked. And I think because I think in one of the videos I watched, his mom opened up a martial arts thing in Boston. It was crazy how well all these new characters just fit right in. It really felt like the one that, I guess because it just focused on ending. It didn't, like, some of the lore that they kind of built in some of the other John Wick movies kind of felt a little bit convoluted.
Yeah.
And this one, it was just action. Like, I think he says a total of like 300 or is it 300 or 180 words. Like, he says barely any words in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the action scenes are so goddamn good.
So wait, is this the last film?
This is the last John Wick film.
Right.
At least in
Confirmed?
terms of, yeah. Yeah.
In before John Wick 5.
It is.
is this like an end of Ava kind of deal where it's
No, it's the last one. At least for like this,
John
like
Wick
this
4.1.
like time period or whatever. Anyway, it's so fucking good. And I was like, it made my week. It made going to Hawaii worth it. I would have gone to Hawaii. I think I would have gone to Hawaii, and if I'd have flew to Hawaii, watched John Wick, got on the flight back that evening, I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
I'd have felt like it was worth it. It was genuinely amazing. Like, it was such a good film.
All right.
Holy fuck. Watch John Wick 4 if you haven't already.
Yeah, honestly, like you'd think going to Hawaii for the first time, he kind of would not stop talking about like some of the stuff he experienced in Hawaii. But in Hawaii, he just kept talking about his highlight being John Wick 4.
Dude, it was so good. Like, actually, one of the best films I've watched, and so I'm so fucking happy it turned out good. So good. Donnie Yen's the GOAT in it as well. He's so good.
Yeah. Would you like? How do you feel like John Wick stacks up against the classic like action movies? Because I feel like, you know, you had like the classic 80s action movies, and then that kind of
like the Rambos.
Yeah, like the Rambos and like the
better.
Schwarzenegger kind of era. And I feel like action movies are kind of like coming back with like the whole Fast and Furious franchise, like the John Wick franchise now as well.
To be a little bit of a simp for a moment, like, I mean, Keanu obviously works very hard and has his entire career on like martial arts.
Yeah.
So like, even though he's a great actor, he's also a great stuntman and martial arts person, I guess, practicer. What did you always say? And like, it's like the accumulation of all his career of practicing different elements of stunts and martial arts just coming together. And it's like, I can't think of another like actor who is more like a traditional actor who is invested so much into this kind of space who could pull this off like this. Because like I watch action movies after watching John Wick, and I'm like, holy fuck, the amount of cuts and shaking of the camera is insane. It's like, you watch John Wick and you're like, oh, that was a 30-second uninterrupted camera angle of him just doing an amazing choreographed fight. And it's like, holy fuck.
It's like the old school like Jackie Chan films.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so impressive. And like the mixing of the style, like martial arts with like guns is so cool. And it's just like, I think this is probably like, it's John Wick 4 kind of sealed it for me, where this is like probably my favorite action series of all time. Right. I think genuinely for me, maybe not like martial arts, but like for just pure action.
Yeah,
I think it's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
I genuinely think so. It's so fun. The whole world is fun. The whole assassin world is very fun and engaging. And like, God, it's just so good. Maybe it's recency bias, but fuck, is it fun?
I don't know why that, you know, every time Keanu Reeves stars in a film, I don't know why I love the fact that Keanu Reeves just plays Keanu Reeves.
He's so dedicated to everything and just the craft of acting.
He's one of the most wholesome persons on the face of this earth. Yeah. Right?
I think it's just because you could. Again, I think there's that feeling where like when you watch someone who just loves what they do, and is dedicated to the craft and
is a nice person on top of
and
all
is
that.
a great person. Like I think it's just hard not to just like. I think even if you don't like action or don't care for the John Wick series, I think you can't deny that watching him perform on the screen is just like a delight.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, some of the stunts that he does is like, holy, he's 50. And some of these stunts he's doing is insane. The whole word of the series is just insane. Please watch it if you haven't. I know it's not for everyone, but it is such a delight to watch.
Right. The thing is though, after I've seen John Wick 1 and 2 at least, it's just ruined any other role that he's played because all I see is John Wick now. You know, I watched like the new Matrix. I'm like, this is just John Wick in the Matrix. You know, I played Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, it's John Wick in Cyberpunk.
It's Neo cosplaying as John Wick.
Because he plays, he can, in the best and worst way, it's just like, I only see like Keanu Reeves or the John Wick era Keanu Reeves, you know, which is great, which I fucking love.
It's the beard, man.
I think it is the beard.
His look is iconic.
Yeah. It's an iconic look.
Just to do martial arts in a suit is just so fucking nice to watch. I don't know why. So good. So good.
Just anything in the suit,
man. So fucking sick. God, you should please watch John Wick.
Oh my God, he was like this all fucking week.
I was like, I talked like this just to nobody. They were eating dinner. I was like, guys, John Wick 4. Please watch it.
Kind of would have random conversations with people in like the lift, just talking about John Wick 4. That's how dedicated we was.
Walking in the lift. Have you seen John Wick 4?
Yeah. It's like, how's your day going? My day's going great. I just saw John Wick 4.
I'm like the precursor to like what the Rick and Morty fans became for John Wick. Like I'm like, have you seen Rick and Morty? You have to watch Rick and Morty.
Oh my God.
I'll get bored of it in a week. But when it comes out in Japan again, I'm gonna go watch it. 100%.
I might have caught up with the.
Fuck yeah,
I'll have caught up.
Because then it'll be 6 months and I'll be like, God, I want to watch it again. I know I do. Such a delight, dude. So fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like a lot of films coming out that interest me, which is rare. You know, we have like the Super Mario Brothers film coming out
I
as well.
think we're kind of now seeing kind of like the when roughly now is, I think, when films kind of stop being affected by the pandemic as much.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of getting more films.
Well, it's
Because
just
the past 2 years have been a drought.
It's just nice because the past 2 years, and it doesn't even feel like the past 2 years. It feels like the past like 4 or 5 years. It's just been, hey, Marvel movies, which is great. I enjoyed Endgame. You know, I'm still as much of a Marvel fan even as you can be, even though like Phase 4 has
Bro, they botched it. No one likes this phase.
Has sucked ass. And I was hoping Ant-Man would be better. It wasn't. It was.
Did you watch it?
I was going to watch it, and then I saw reviews, and I'm like, okay, this is a plain movie.
Easily
now.
swayed by reviews, eh?
I mean, I kind of am, because especially when it comes to like theater, going to the cinema, I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time. You know? I'm that guy. It's either cinema or I'll watch it at home, or if it's a Marvel movie that's mid, I'll probably watch it on a plane. You know, which is what I have been doing with like the rest of the movies this entire phase.
Yeah.
So it just seems like there's not been much.
Exciting now.
Yeah, there's not been there for a long time. There just wasn't a lot of choice of films that I wanted to see if it wasn't like a Marvel movie. But now there's like so many films that are like shit.
There's that new the film I want to watch. I think it's coming out this year. Is the Oppenheimer movie?
I really want to watch
yeah.
that. Oh my god.
What's his name? Oh my god.
Shit. I was literally about to say it. Christopher Nolan. That's it.
Christopher Nolan.
It's Christopher Nolan, and Oppenheimer's played by.
Christopher Nolan's the goat, dude.
Oh my god, what's the guy's name? Kai, look it up.
What are you thinking of?
Starts with a K. He's the guy in Sunshine.
Oh, the actor?
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
Murphy.
Yeah.
He plays like Oppenheimer, the guy who made the atomic bomb.
Sick.
Yeah,
I'm
looks
hyped for that.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped
I think
for
we're
that.
gonna have a good year of cinema, hopefully.
I'm really, really hyped for Oppenheimer. I don't know. Christopher Nolan, I've realized.
He makes exciting movies.
He
does. He makes. What I love about Christopher Nolan is that even if his movies, you know, sometimes are a bit experimental, at least they like break the mold. I don't feel like when I watch a Christopher Nolan movie, I always come in with a new experience, right? Even if a lot of his movies have had. Some of his movies have had issues with it. I look back to all of his movies, and I'm looking back at Tenet now. I'm like, damn, that was actually a really good fucking experience.
Like, one thing you can't say about his movies is that are boring.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're always interesting. Even if they're hard to follow, they're always a fucking delight to watch.
Yeah, every now and again I go back to watch clips of like Tenet like on YouTube because I just like want to like relive just how fucking insane some of the visuals in that was. And of course Tenet had problems with its writing. I mean the character was literally called the protagonist. But like years like which is how like it's, you know, a lot of the reviews of that movie were pretty like mediocre. You know, it's not his best work, but when you look back on an experience 2, 3, 5 years in the future, you're not going to remember any of that stuff. You're going to remember the shit that actually like did something new.
Yeah.
You know,
it stands out on like the broader scope of like cinema that came out. Right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I look back at Interstellar as well. I
watched that again recently.
I actually rewatched that as well because
wait, why?
I don't know.
It's a fucking good movie.
Something about it was just stuck in my mind.
Interstellar.
You haven't watched it?
It's a great movie.
It's a really, really good. Well, here's the thing. Again, when it came out, when I first watched it, I came out of it after watching, what's the dream movie again?
Inception.
Inception. Yeah, Inception was what like sold me on Christopher Nolan. That's what made me a Nolan fanboy. Watching that in cinemas in Japan actually for the first time, fucking blew my mind. And I'm like, this is incredible. I went into Interstellar wanting something similar to Inception. I was like, this is totally different. What is this? I don't understand. And the reviews at that time were, again, this is still good. Not his best work, but still good. But it's just something about his work just sticks with you and like makes you remember it. And I think I appreciate Interstellar more now than I did when I first watched it.
I never, because I think before that time I wasn't really going to the cinema much. But I think for some reason in my head, since I watched Ad Astra, I was like, I don't want to watch any more space movies. I don't know why. I watched this Ad Astra thing and it was a really weird, okay film. I remember I went to the cinema and it was literally just me. It was like a midnight viewing of it and it was IMAX. It was a giant theater and it was just me.
All right.
And I was like, man, this is creepy as fuck. And it was such a really sad movie as well. And it was, I mean, you remember it, right?
Yeah.
So I think I was done with space, but I kind of want to get back into space stuff.
Have you watched The Martian?
I haven't watched that either. Again, because I was kind of done with space.
Such a banger film
That's
as well.
Great movie. That's a great movie.
And like a lot of films, I'm like, I want to watch that in the theater, but I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Like The Martian to me is like a modern day Castaway. That's also a movie that's aged incredibly well. Holy shit. Matt Damon fucking killed it in that film, man.
Making those potatoes.
Yeah, making those potatoes.
Yeah, I watched like a game theory or a film theory about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've seen The Martian. He plants the potato.
Yeah,
It's fine. He uses it.
I think now we got all the cool science YouTubers and everyone, bringing a good name to scientists. But I remember back in the day, it was just like he was like the pioneer of like bringing a cool image to like someone who's just really nerdy and someone super into science. I remember watching The Martian. I was like, damn, maybe I should get into like a science or something like that. Damn, I want to grow potatoes on Mars. God damn, man. Yeah. Yeah, what a banger film. I think the reason I go to the cinema less than what I used to is I don't know where I saw this quote, or it was probably like a random YouTube short or YouTube video or something like that. But
I get all my life lessons from you.
Yeah. I remember what they were talking about, but it was someone in the movie industry talking about how, in the modern day, there's not really as many mid-budget movies anymore. It's always either the super high budget blockbusters, which is normally like anything Disney, anything Marvel, and that has its own charm, but I'm not always in that kind of mood, or it's like a very like
super art housey films.
Like super like indie film, art house kind of films. And it kind of made me realize, I think some of my favorite films aren't those big ass blockbusters, the cinema kind of experience. It's kind of like I grew up with watching a lot of mid-budget kind of mid-budget movies.
There's a lot more, like you could make comedy movies before. You can't make comedy movies.
Yeah, what's happening to comedy movies, man?
Not profitable.
I watched like a 50-minute like breakdown of like why comedy movies are just dead now.
I think like DVD sales are a big thing.
Yeah.
Like not having DVD sales to make up the poor performance they would often get in cinema. And you can also shoot them a lot cheaper, but I guess the audience demand for it is not as high now.
Comedy is dead.
Yeah.
Think about like mid 2000s. How many of the most iconic films from the mid 2000s are just really?
I just think of like how many
weird
fucking Adam
comedy.
Sandler.
Yeah, I'm
movies
just
there were, right? Like,
people love to clown on Adam Sandler, especially like some of the later films he did, but he did some really good fucking films, and I really enjoyed that era of just it's an Adam Sandler movie. I should probably watch this.
Honestly, like it's weird that it's those like weird kind of, as you were saying, like mid to like slightly high range comedy movies, or like just movies
or
in
just
general.
movies like that in general.
Yeah, that just stick with me the whole time, because like in my head, like when I think back to like some of the most fun movie experiences I had, like I don't know if this is like a hot take, Night at the Museum was a fucking banger movie. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, that's good.
That was a fucking awesome, or like Bruce Almighty, like
exactly, right?
Those kinds of like, it's such simple films, but there's something about it that just like after all those years, I can still quote like a bunch of things from those movies.
Right.
Where it's like today, it's like I've seen a lot of great films recently, but it's like I couldn't tell you as in detail as much as like say like fucking Waterboy by Adam Sandler.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a different landscape now. Like you said, like everything has to be a lot of money, big
and
budget.
a lot of the time, I mean, like fucking superheroes are the isekai of Hollywood. It's you just have like no choice but superhero movies. So when something like John Wick 4 does come out, or the Super Mario Brothers movie, I'm like, finally something different.
Yeah.
Well, they thought initially that John Wick was gonna not perform the greatest because there was like not really much marketing behind it, because it was kind of confusing initially, because you're like, it's just an action movie with Keanu. Okay, I guess.
Say no more.
I think people just were shocked at how fucking good it turned out to be. Like the budget was tiny for the first John Wick, and even the newest one was really like kind of small considering how famous John Wick is. I think can you Google the budget? But I think it was like 90 million.
Oh, that's
really?
Not a lot.
Which like the Marvel movies are sometimes like 400, 500 million. Right? Like it's a very different amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
100 million.
It was 100 million, which is like, is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But like when we hear about what some other films cost, I think Avatar needed to get $1 billion to like break even or something. It was like, it's just like, holy fuck. Like it's so impressive what they can do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying, there were a lot more films in that like 50 million kind of like
50
range.
should be a lot too.
50 is a lot, but
it used to be. I mean, inflation is also a thing. So.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like that kind of like budget compared to the every superhero, every Marvel movie, which is like hundreds of millions of dollars. They're both a lot of money, but one is way more money than the other kind of movie. Yeah. And I feel like in that like mid-range, you could still explore interesting ideas without having to be limited by, you know, being an indie film, you know, because indie films are fucking fantastic, by the way. But at the end of the end of the day, you use the resources you have, and sometimes they find clever ways to use like the lower budget, but it has its charm. But there's just a whole category of like films that I feel have just been wiped off the earth in like the past decade.
Just because a lot of the fucking budget films that we hear about lately are like Cocaine Bear and the Winnie the Pooh horror film.
Yeah.
It's like these just shit films. It's just fucking stupid.
They're just meme films, right?
Yeah.
They're just films that they're like, it's like you can make the film on less than $1 million.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get more money just of people being curious because it's such a stupid concept.
Yeah.
Like I think the Winnie the Pooh film was like not even like 100. How much was the Winnie the Pooh horror film? Can you Google the budget?
I was really tempted to go watch it.
I think it was like literally like less than $1 million. Like I think it was like even less than that. I think it was something stupidly low.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it just says a budget under 100,000.
Under
100,000.
And everyone knew that movie was coming out, right? And so I don't think the aim of that movie was to make a good movie. I think it was to make a movie that would just exist and could be called a movie.
And it definitely made its money back.
Yeah, it made like 10x budget.
Yeah.
It easily got $1 million.
Yeah, it was also a 10-day shoot as well.
A 10-day shoot?
Fuck.
That's just a YouTube video.
Yeah, they made 4.2 million. So
Yeah, so they made so like I think a lot of studios now or like budget studios saying like, oh wait, if we just do something outrageous or make something fucking stupid that people are going to talk about online, even if the movie sucks, we get money.
Isn't it crazy that the Winnie the Pooh movie took just as long to film as our Japan road trip special did?
Oh my! Why are you gonna say it like that,
If you think about it like that,
oh my god!
If you think about it like that, that's nutty.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
We lost money.
Meanwhile, Disney's like, what other classic movie should we remake today?
Moana remake.
It's Moana! It's Moana, guys!
Shit idea. I mean, everyone.
It's fucking hell.
I mean, everyone said this, but like, the remakes fucking suck.
Well, there's that Little Mermaid remake coming out, right? You hear about that?
I don't care.
Saw the trailer. And I'm like,
Moana does not need a live action, and the fact that they have Dwayne Johnson doing it, which makes sense. Obviously, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
of
doing it,
course.
but what is the fucking point now?
Yeah.
When it's just like an RTX version of Moana. Like, what is the point of this movie?
You just did a mocap version, you know?
they just fucking used the mocap footage of him. Just release that. Like, what is this shit? He's gonna be like, I'm really excited to revisit the role and do the exact same thing I did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
thing about remakes is that I feel like with remakes, there's like a grace period.
everyone thought about it. Everyone knows this. There's just an unwritten rule that you should leave it the fuck alone for a while.
Yeah. Like you can't call it a remake if it's like what fucking 5 years ago or some shit
If I
like
could
that.
still watch it on in-flight entertainment, it's too goddamn early. Okay, it's too early.
but boys, we all know the biggest news in the movie world is that Shrek 5 was just announced.
Was it actually?
off.
Yep, Shrek 5 was just
No
announced.
fucking way.
They're
Dude.
making a Shrek 5.
I watched Puss in Boots.
Was it
Oh,
good?
you did?
It's insane.
Really?
It's so fucking good.
I-
It's actually, I've never seen a movie that went so hard.
I
Really?
really want to watch it. That's actually like that. No joke.
It's in
That's
cinemas right now.
Yeah, I heard insane things about it. Yeah,
Dude, it's like it's like it feels like the One Punch Man of the Shrek universe. In terms of like, it just came out of nowhere and was like, what the fuck? Why is the animation just insane?
Yeah.
I can't fathom how hard they went on this film. Not only is like the animation itself just an absolute delight, the story is so fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, when I first saw Puss in Boots 2 start like trending on my timeline, I'm like, people are memeing, right? This is a meme.
I didn't even watch Puss in Boots 1. You don't need to, because this film was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
damn.
But yeah, I'm excited for Into the Spider-Verse 2 as well. That's
Dude, we got so
so much good
great
films,
cinema
man.
coming out.
Great cinema. Thank God.
Hell yeah.
Even though that is a superhero film, I don't care.
It's fine, it's fine.
I'll make it
Boots
I
exciting.
is-
enjoyed Into the
He's
Spider-Verse
my
too
hero
much.
right now, dude. Bro, that film was so good, dude. Please, if you're skeptical, you're like, I don't want to watch Puss in Boots. I haven't watched Puss in Boots. It doesn't fucking matter. Don't fucking listen to anything you say. You're dumb. Go and watch Puss in Boots 2. I don't care how you watch it. Watch it right now. It's so fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, moral of the story is I am more excited about cinema this year than I have been for a very long time. And I might actually end up going to the cinema more often now.
Yeah.
Dude, please do. Let's go watch Puss in Boots. I think it's still in cinemas.